So it's a beautiful morning. It's going to be 24 degrees today, which is exceptional for this time of year. So I'm taking advantage of it. I'm going to take my trek out for a ride. Just wearing a t-shirt and a pair of denim shorts, not getting into the fancy gear or anything like that. This is about a pleasure ride. I will be wearing a helmet though. You know, safety's important. And I'll bring for snack, I'll bring a Cliff Bar because I plan on being out there for most of the day riding. Yeah, so why don't you come along? So when I'm going out for a long ride on the bike, normally I eat fruit in the morning, but I eat for long rides on the bike. I don't really want to have to stop at any washroom for having to do a dump. So I eat steel cut oats. It's a slow burning energy and it keeps you going. So I'm out here at Trinity Woods Park out in Queen West. Yeah, so it's been quite a ride. I've been riding for about 2.5 hours now. Rode through the Don Valley up to Sunnybrook Hospital, then rode through, I guess, north of Lawrence. Yeah, and then eventually hooked up to Ossington and came down Ossington and ultimately ended up here. So it's been quite a ride, really enjoyable. Not finished yet. I'm just going to have myself a little snack, a Cliff Bar, and probably head down to the lakeshore and ride along the path on the lakeshore. I just got back from cycling. It's been an amazing day weather-wise, and did a nice combination of riding the city trails like the Don Valley and hardcore downtown urban riding. So I put in about 4 hours. I'll tell you, it's the first time I've actually rode the bike downtown. Like I'm an inexperienced bike rider in terms of riding in the city, and you really got to be alert. I tell you, there was a couple of close calls. First of all, you got to watch out for the taxi cabs. The they'll cut you off if there's a fare on the side of the road that they want to get. They'll just drive right in front of you. Then there's the buses that you've also got to be aware of when they pull over to pick up people, and then when they're about to take off. Making left-hand turns at intersections is a tricky one. Not getting your tire caught in the streetcar tracks, that can be deadly. And it happened to me today, but it was just like for a couple of seconds, but it just sort of made me aware of what could happen if you don't get out quickly enough. You'll literally wipe out in the middle of the road, right in traffic, basically. And then when streetcars come to a stop, there's a tendency for drivers that are right behind the streetcar will want to pull over into the right lane that you're in to pass the streetcar, because nobody wants to be stuck behind a streetcar. I understand it. I'm a driver too, and so I had a close call with a car today that was trying to do that very thing. And then pedestrians, they can be really stupid sometimes. I mean, they just walk around unaware, and next thing you know, they're kissing your bike, not in a good way. The funniest thing, though, and this was actually on a side street in a residential area, where you're thinking, like, that's a pretty safe place to ride your bike, right? And what happened was this guy, I don't know what he was thinking, but he started driving in the opposite lane. And then as I'm approaching him, he just stops his car there. And so I tried to, ride my bike in between his car and the curb. I lost my balance. I wasn't going too fast, though. I lost my balance and I wiped out. He rolls down his window and he says, "That's what you get for trying to squeeze through trying to squeeze by the car." And I'm looking at you. You're in the wrong friggin' lane. And then he started cursing at me. I believe it either was in Yiddish or Hebrew, because this was a Jewish neighborhood. And so I just said, "F you," and and like we look at each other, kind of standing each other up kind of thing, and then we just went on our way. And another guy came up, that was right behind, came up to me and he says, "Are you okay?" and everything. And I said, "Oh yeah, I'm fine, no big deal." But I tell you, you really when you're riding in the city, man, you got to be. It's like you got to have eyes all around your head, honestly, and be alert at all times, because, if you're like me, when I'm riding in the downtown, riding down Queen Street, for example, and, there's all the stores and the people walking by, I like looking around. I like checking out the scenery. Not a good thing to do, man. There's another thing too, parked cars. You got to so here's the challenge, especially when you're riding on a street like Queen Street. You got the streetcar tracks there, okay? You got the parked cars, and then you've got to negotiate in between those two lines, because you want to be far enough away from the parked cars so that if someone gets out there, you're not going to ride your bike into their door, and then you don't want to get your tire caught in the track of what the streetcars ride on. And then you got to be aware of the cars behind you. There might be a car coming up behind you. So that's the fun of riding downtown. But what can I say? It was a rush. I get off on that kind of stuff. As long as I don't get hurt, you get hurt, that really sucks. And believe me, I have seen people get hit on bikes, and it's not a pretty sight. I can tell you that right now. So, I don't want to be stupid about this. It's easy as a cyclist that you get a little bit overconfident, and I can see how you start to get cocky and get a little bit reckless as well. And so just got to keep your head on your shoulders and be aware. Anyways, what a fantastic day. Take care.